welcome to another episode of Coffee with Tea on Confidence Drive. I'm your host, Tonia Tyler, and I'm excited today because today we're collaborating. I found another YouTube sister, and I'm excited because she has a lot of energy, and I think this is going to be a fun-filled interview. So without further ado, Miss Jakia Wilson. Miss Jakia Wilson, thank you. Thank you.
Hello, Tanya. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here today. Thank you.
I'm excited to have you here. This was, I guess you could say this was something of a miracle work because
Yes.
you and I actually connected, I think, earlier this week because of a mutual friend.
Yes.
And so this is going to be something interesting because you are a YouTube person as well. I call you my YouTube sister. So
Yes.
tell me,
Yes.
tell us a little bit how your journey came about to developing your YouTube.
Well, I I wanted to do a YouTube channel for the past couple years. I did a big chop and cut off my hair, and I started YouTubing a natural hair journey. And I started to vibe with the sisters that I started to watch as they were taking me through learning how to care for my hair. And during that time, I was doing a stage play. I have a production company, and I was doing a stage play, and which my production company is Master Key Entertainment, and so I'm really excited about that. But we'll talk about that. So, but I was like really just trying to find my voice, and I felt that God had put it on my heart then to start a YouTube channel, but I wasn't quite ready yet. I was, I was a little nervous about it, and it's like, how do we just begin this? Like, do I just take my phone and just start recording? Like, what am I going to talk about? Well, how does this? So it took me 2 years to bring me to this point. And when I decided to do it, I felt God just say, this is the time. However, in order for you to be able to do this YouTube channel, he wanted me to have a voice. He didn't want me to just get out here and just start speaking about a lot of mumbo jumbo, He said, I want you to be intentional and have purpose. And so we started with the Made for Change Challenge. It was a 20-week 2020 challenge to become the highest, best version of ourselves. Made for Change is a book I wrote in 2006, and I never had the opportunity. It wasn't time, let's just say that. It wasn't time to market. I needed more growth, and I needed to be relevant to what God had called me to do. And so when he released me early this year, it's been a fun ride. I've been having to be accountable in front of my critique crew, is like what I want to call it, our critique crew, and just be authentic, be transparent, be human. And so that's what brought me here.
Wow. Like I said, I watched your, before I go too far, what is the name of your channel so people can follow that?
KiKi's Critique.
Okay. So for those, I watched KiKi's Critique, and it had me laughing because some of the stuff that, as YouTube people are like developing their channel, but we all have the same kind of fears. So when we're actually, what we're really talking about is you were celebrating your failure. So how did you come about to that?
Well, okay, first of all, YouTube is a very interesting platform because we're recording ourselves and we want to put on a good impression. We don't know what the other viewer, how they view us, am I coming across okay? How do I look? Or, we worry about this external thing. And I found myself, for the first part of my YouTube channel, I was worried about what people thought about, me. Were they receiving me? Was the message good? And do I look okay? Did I have anything in my teeth? I try to, was the lighting, and then it just got to the point where God said, listen, we're here to just be ourselves authentically. We're not going to shoot it 100% all the time. And that's what my channel is about, is for us YouTubers who are failing to succeed. We got to celebrate the fact that we got out the boat. I mean, you know what I mean? That we stepped out. We're trying. I don't know how to edit well. I don't know how to record myself well. I'm just learning as I go.
That's the part that made me laugh, because like I said, I have no, for those who watch, I have no editing skills whatsoever. I throw in there. It's like, I found that YouTube was like a plug and play to me. It's like, oh, plug your video in here. So it's like, we connected off of that, because like I said, I don't have no editing. So hats off to you, because I saw your editing and it was everywhere. So it had me laughing. So tell us a little bit about your book and how did this challenge came about?
Oh, well, Made for Change. Oh gosh, I've always had a passion for people. Ever since just a little girl, like I love people and I love our flaws and how we're beautifully and creatively different. You know, uniquely just different at the way we think, our perspective. Like me and my sister grew up in the same household, but have total different perspectives on our upbringing and things. You know what I mean? Just different. And so Made for Change was, for me, a tribute to our humanity. You know, God had placed in me that, you know, we are born to evolve and to transform, and by all the information, everything that we're receiving, we can grow and become totally different people. You know what I mean? Because we think about from the time we're a baby to the time we reach adulthood, or you know, before, you know, we change. Our hair changes, our skin changes, we look different. And so that's where Made for Change came from. It's like, let's talk about how we are to grow and be better for each other so we can celebrate our differences.
I love it. I love it, because like you said, the mutual friend introduced us, and he was like, she's on fire. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, I don't know if she's ready for me, because, you know, or am I ready for her? So when we connected, like I said, the first thing I did was watch your video. So I realized it's like, we're more alike than we were different. So
Amen.
when you made that transition into making your YouTube video and you made the book, really, was there like a set theme, or are you letting it organically grow? How are you evolving your stories, I guess you could say?
Well, it started honestly just promoting the book, in a sense, you know, bringing attention to this book that God wrote through me 14 years ago. And in order, you know, I've always been very careful in my relationships with people. I've reverenced people, you know, and so being able to use a platform like YouTube to be able to tell my story or to inspire, you know, other people, I'm really cautious about that because, you know, first of all, I want God to be pleased, you know, and I want to do service. I want to help somebody. And if the things that I've gone through allows me to have joy and feel, you know, the love of God, I want to share that with people and say, like, no matter what your beginning is, no matter what it looks like, no matter where we started from, God is greater than all those situations and circumstances, and we can make changes to have the life that He destined for us. And so I'm living proof. If I could do it, you know, anybody can. And that's the truth.
Isn't that the truth? So when I was reading that, you have your mission helping the people. So it says you Sisters in Unity. What is that organization you're talking about?
Yes, Sisters in Unity. Well, I started Sisters in Unity years and years ago when I lived in Dallas, and that was it is one of my nonprofits that I have been able to bring to the Dayton area. And it's an organization of women coming together to network, to be a community for each other. especially us who are, we're growing and we need to support each other. We need to be able to say, hey, I have some information to, on how I market this or did that, or, and I want to share it with you, my sister, and you may have something that could help me. It's a community of women that come together to help each other and also to be of help to the community.
Right. So that, like I said, it's inspiring because, like I said, I'm amazed at how we actually connected. So can you explain how that portion worked?
Yes. Oh my God. It was so awesome. I had did a post on Facebook just telling a little bit about my story. For my readers and my audience to check out my website and look at my YouTube videos. And Mr. Apton, he was on Facebook in one of the groups, and he saw that post and he contacted me. He said, wow, Jakia, like, your story is amazing. He said, I don't even know if I could, if I would have felt the way or be able to express it the way that you have in such a positive way. And he said, I would love to be able to help you any way I can. And we contacted via Zoom like this. And he said, I know someone, Tonia Taylor. I think you two could be of great support to each other. He said, do you mind if I could? I said, please, I would be honored. And when we met, we had a telephone conversation. I was like kindred spirits. Like, we were able to just really vibe. And I think it's just history in the making, honestly.
Right. So like I said, it's shout out to Abden because, like I said, this was
Yes.
a connection. So you never know, but I always say, some people are like hold on to not sharing their story. So what have you found out by like sharing your story has helped you propel forward?
um, I I believe at this point, for a long time, Tanya, was so ashamed of my upbringing. I was ashamed that my parents had me. My mom was 15 years old when she had me, and my dad was 16. I was and being raised by a single teenage mother was very challenging. And never have I ever wanted to. I love my mother. She did a fantastic job. She taught me God. She raised me. She didn't, put me up for adoption. She didn't give me away. She said, I'm going to raise my girls. I'm gonna hang in here. And I love her so much for that. And no parent comes with a manual, a book on what to do. And my mom and my father, growing themselves, children themselves, there was a lot going on. And as a child, we don't always understand what our parents, why some of the things happen, why things happen the way that they did. We don't always understand those things until we keep living and we get older and we become parents ourselves, and life comes full circle, and then there's a new understanding on, wow, like, shout out to my mom, for even, for just being there. That's amazing to just be here. So I'm just I found telling my story allowed me to be free. It allowed me to say that I'm here. I have human flaws, as we all have, and it's helped people to relate to me better, because even in my other businesses with my production company, or even with my Sisters in Unity, I feel like, we always looking for someone to latch on to. Am I the only one in the world who feels this way or think this way or maybe had this type of experience? And so I just want to be able to, put myself out there and say, if there's anything about me that you can relate to, that you can receive from, that you can get, I want to tell you, so we can say, I'm not alone. We're not alone.
Right. So I know we're getting down to a few more minutes on our interview.
Really?
Tell us a little, yeah, I know. Tell us a little bit about your production company.
Master Key Entertainment. We're going to be doing, we start production in July for the stage play Closed Doors. And that is inspired by a true story of, I went through a relationship with a former friend of mine starting business, and how complicated that relationship ended up. And it inspired me to write this play to, again, just to show our humanity, and to be patient with people, be merciful with people, and he who without seeing throw the first stone. We've all played, a part in somebody's life, whether good or bad. We got to pray that even in the bad, it turned out for your good. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I didn't mean it,
Yeah.
And so to, get ourselves from, being always, it's always about me, and just changing that perspective and say, okay, well, somebody else is having this experience, and how would I want to be, do I want to forgive? Do I want to, I want to be forgiven. I want to have mercy. So my production company, Master Key Entertainment, is about helping people through art and expression to be able to tell their stories.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, I also want to know, what's the one thing you want to leave the audience with?
Don't be afraid to be yourself. Be who you are. Love yourself, your uniqueness, your specialness, everything about you. Enjoy who you are, because this is all we have, and as you love yourself and you allow God to love you, it's easy to just give and pour that love out to other people. It's effortless. So
Right.
just love yourself. Be happy with who you are, flaws and all. Enjoy the ride.
I love it. So, like I said, it's amazing how fast 20 minutes can go by. So my last question is, if anybody wanted to know where to find more information about you, where can they go, and where can we find more information about your production company, your book, and all that kind of stuff?
Okay. Well, kikiscritique.com is my lifestyle blogging website. Also, masterkeyentertainment.com. Also, you can find me on Instagram at Kiki's Critique, on Twitter at critique_s. And also, oh gosh, I think that's about it.
Like I said, what's your number one goal for yourself this year?
My number one goal is to help change a life, to inspire people, and to be able to hopefully to feel that at the same time, for someone to say, wow, Jakia, you're helping me, you're inspiring me, and to just continue to do that. That's my number one goal this year, is just to continue to just put myself out there, and hopefully I can help someone.
Right. Well, you inspired me. So like I said, I'm so glad you came on and connected with me and everything like that. So thank you. Wishing you continued success.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You too. This is so awesome. I'm so honored to have you, to be on your show, and to be able to, this is just wonderful. Thank you. What you're doing is great.
Well, thank you. And shout out to Mr. Abden.
Yes, shout out to you.
Shout out to Abden. And also want to say, for those who are watching, remind you that feedback is always welcomed on our shows and stuff like that. That's how I can always get better. Yes. Email me if you have any guests that you'd love to see on, or any show ideas that you have. I will also remind you, all the links will be provided to Kia's information, and my email will be in the comments. And the best thing you can do is like, share, and subscribe both of our channels, and they will both be included on there. Yeah. And my closing remarks: take things in stride, go with the flow, and create your own path. And again, yeah. Thank you, Ms. Kia, for being here.
Yes, thank you for having me. Thank you.
And it's been a pleasure. So please check back here for another episode of Coffee with Tea. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.